DJ.
You know, this city got a lot of artists, got a lot of hip hop artists, you know, underground artists, and it seemed like, you know, nobody's really got like a major deal. Like nobody's really, is going nationwide, and everything seems to be low. Do you think there's any artist that could maybe take it to that next level?
I think there's a lot of artists that can, but here's the thing. Like, using the word artist is you can't use that word very, loosely, because it's a lot of people that rap, and it's the artist. I feel like for you to transcend just being in Philadelphia, you have to kind of study the game and study what people like. Not saying you have to study and say, oh, well, this is working, I need to be like this, but kind of take away from things that are working, like a regular Philly artist, Philly rap artist or Philly rapper may not look at Beyonce and say, what can I learn from Beyonce and take away from what she's doing to apply to what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? Because she's successful. So my whole thing is, first thing first, I think people need to study the game and see what's working. Two, your work ethic has to be ridiculously, like, crazy. Like, that has to be something that you're working on a daily, consistent basis. And a lot of people just say, all right, let me put out a song, let me run it up the cab, and shit, my joint ain't on the radio. I'm sorry, we're cursing, but like, man, my joint ain't on the radio. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, like, don't even block out the radio. Try to be the best artist you can be. And I think a lot of people aren't doing that. They use the scapegoat of the radio is not playing our joints, they don't support us here. Well, for real, like, now you don't really need the radio to blow. Yeah. Because you could just turn on your computer, you can make a video, put it out there, and be consistent. So I think that's a lot of our problem in Philly. Like, a lot of people aren't studying the craft and trying to become better. A lot of people are, using excuses of why they're not on. Don't make an excuse. Turn on that computer, get out on the streets, and grind, and get out of Philly and show people what you're doing. Yeah, I guess that's one. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you answered my question real good. Now, speaking of that, Tone Trump, right?
I think it can happen with Tone. Like, a lot of people, they know who he is more than, some other artists. Like, I think he just has to keep going. Like, you got to think about it. Like, okay, prime example. Let's look at Destiny's Child. And people are like, man, why did you use that example? Okay, Matthew Knowles formed Destiny's Child, let's say, when Beyonce and Kelly and the other two chicks were like 9 years old. They didn't blow, or they didn't get their first shot or their first look until they were like 15, 16. That's 5-6 years of grinding, of talent shows, of going around, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it takes time. And I think a lot of people don't really realize how much time it takes to become really successful. Now, if you want to be a rap artist and just have a song out, then I think that can happen. Like, that's easy. But, like, that's what I'm saying. It's not a real artist until he has blown, because people don't want to put the time in.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't want to put the time in. And it's easy for us or for artists to say, you know what, I'm a rapper, I'm going to beef with this person, or, man, I'm going to get signed by this person because they're bigger, or whatever it is. Like, it hasn't been an artist from Philly to start to really blow and be like, I'm going to do this from the muscle and do my thing and really learn the craft. You got to know the craft, man. Like, it takes time. It takes time. Like, you look at Dr. Dre. It took him, I'm talking about this, to get his business right, to get everything right. He was on the NWA. His business wasn't right. He got on with Suge. That wasn't right. It wasn't until the third shot for him to get everything right. And that's like 15, 16 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people got to really study the history of how, quote-unquote, getting on or quote-unquote grinding before they really start, thinking they're doing something. And I'm not saying Tone Trump isn't doing something. I'm just saying, like, I think if he continues his grind, he'll be all right, because people know him. Like, people come up to me in Cali like, yo, or I may be at work, like, yo, this boy Tone Trump, like, man, because he's out there. People know him. So you just got to keep going. It don't take 2 years. Like, you can't just buzz for 2 years. Like, even hip-hop on the internet hasn't been prominent for 5 years yet.
Yeah.
Hip hop on the internet just started popping in 07, 08. You know what I mean? So it's like, even just that, like, it hasn't been, you know, I mean, and I'm not discrediting anybody's grind, but it takes longer than people believe it takes to, you know, be successful at something. Rap, you know, anything. R&B, just any level of success is just definitely going to take time.
DJ Circuit Breaker.